It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order! I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K and Mr. E paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies.
This is the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka has a background as a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. The Dr. Meleeka Clary Show will help move you towards bettering the quality of your life with positive psychology. So please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome, where we're coming live. Oh, my. First of all, I have to God, thank you for giving me another day to be able to do this show, another Thursday. I really appreciate that. And I have to say that I hope this New Year and Christmas was just what they wanted to be. So I'm very happy for that. I think the Christmas that I had was wonderful. And I have to say that because, I was with my family and we were healthy and okay. And it wasn't just about the presents. That was nice because they really put thought in to things they wanted to buy me, which was cool. And I don't look at it that they have to buy me anything, but things that they think of, like something that I would actually like and use. The simplest things, and I tell people it's not like a whole bunch of money you need to spend because it doesn't take that for me. It really doesn't. But I was very blessed with my children and what they came up with, and I was just like, oh, this is so sweet. Look at that. And even down to a poem that was written, just to appreciate, down to it could be anything you write and just say, hey, we really appreciate you, and put it in a frame and stuff like that. That's what really gets me going. So to me, that's what the holidays is all about, just remembering your loved ones and being around them. And I know that sometime, and I have to say this as being a psychologist, sometimes the holidays is not great for everyone. When holidays remind you of somebody's passing or something that happened before the holidays, so it doesn't make someone feel like they want to celebrate. And what I have to say to those individuals that feel that way, I want you to try to just being here still and try to remember the memories, because I think that's what's so important. And I think we forget about that. We don't remember, what we've known of that person who passed. We don't remember how did they celebrate the holidays with us before they had passed on, before this special event had happened. And I think for you to keep on moving forward, you have to remember the joy and the times that you celebrate. And maybe that's the time that you can look at pictures or videos or talk about favorite foods or what that person would say or do. And that will give you some type of comfort as well. So that's just just something to take with you. And like I said, not everybody's celebrating the holidays because they feel like it's a bad moment for them, but not really. It's all about how you look at it. And sometimes we just have to look at it a different way and try to celebrate what we have now and trying to move on with that. So I really, have to stress that because, I talk to a lot of individuals, and like I said, not everybody is at the happy moment for that. But celebrating every day that you get opportunity, even to the for being around the ones you that are or surviving, you know. So that's something that it's worth celebrating. So I'm very content for myself that I was able to do that in health, because sometimes people's health decline, and we all have our challenges, and I have my challenges in my family. And like I said, we try to pray and worship to hopefully God would find a miracle to make sure that person's not going to be sick, or don't let a x-ray come back positive or something. And you never know, because that's something I face in my family. But we try to just pray and just hopefully and put in God's hand, and he see what fits for us. As I said before, I'm human just like everyone else. I go through the trials and tribulations of what this world offers, and I'm not exempt from that, and I don't act like I am. But it's how I deal with it, and I try to deal with it as positive as I can, because in that it is something that we it's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. So I just want to give you that before we go on break. Is grateful for today, day at a time, and that's all we have. So before we do anything else and I bring this amazing guest, we're going to take a brief commercial, and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. We'll be right back, fam. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all. It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime, because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayed. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back. Welcome back. So before I went on break, I was just expressing how content and, how I celebrated the new year and Christmas with family. And I hope everybody did too. And I do have to mention about the movie. We are constantly letting people know the movie is available. Three Corners of Deception available on Prime Video. So go ahead and go see that movie if you have not seen that movie yet. And thank you for the ones who have seen the movie already. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you all. I notice people do see the movie, so thank you very much. So, with that being said, we have an amazing guest. And this guest I've known, he's from my upbringing, like my home, Boston and Massachusetts. And he does amazing things. He is a entrepreneur, but here's the thing about it. He also owns his own radio station, 98.1 FM Urban Heat. And wow, he brings amazing people on as his guests on his station. But he does a lot of things. He does a lot of things for the community, things that I didn't even know that he did. And I've known this individual for several years now. He knows my family a lot more years than I did know him, because I actually was on his radio show and he interviewed me, and that was so wonderful, and I really appreciate him. He's very supportive in that area, and I really, really, really admire this individual enough that I think I on this show, because not that he does amazing things, but he's a human being. And being a human being means that you go through challenges and trials and tribulations and things in this world. But as a owner and a radio station, you must have a lot of challenges. So I was just so grateful and appreciative that he agreed to be on my show, a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. So fam. But here's the thing, here's a kicker. We're gonna know a little bit more about him. Because not just that he's a radio station owner and an entrepreneur. We're gonna actually know a little bit more about him in depth. So come in a little closer so I can bring my guest. Mr. Marv Neal, the Magnificent. How are
Thank you.
you?
I'm
How
well.
you
How are
doing?
you?
I'm doing good. I'm good. Thank you for being a guest on my show. I really appreciate it. Mr.
Absolutely. I
Neal.
appreciate you having me.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I see you're nice and blue. And are you, is that like a baseball? Is that for the B, for the ball, the
Well,
baseball? Or
the B is for Boston, representing Boston all day. And then, of
okay,
course, old school, that's the Adidas three stripes for
okay,
Adidas.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right, okay, because you got to educate me a little bit. I got to know.
Yeah,
B for
absolutely.
everything could have been baseball, but Boston, I take it. All
All
right.
right.
Well, you know what? As you heard, and like I said, there's so many challenges that I know that goes with, owning your own radio station. And that alone seemed to me like, whoa, I can't even imagine. But here's the thing about it. Knowing that you're an entrepreneur and knowing that you have all these accolades and hats that you have to hold, I want to know, who do you identify yourself as you? Because your identity to yourself is so important, because many people, I can identify you as an entrepreneur and a radio station owner, but who do you identify yourself as to you?
Well, while I am all those things, I do hold another job that is more important than any of those jobs, any of those hats that I wear, and that's my job as a father. So that is the best job that I have ever had in my life. I don't think there'll ever be another job that will, come close to bringing me the joy and excitement that being a father does.
Yes. You know, and that's wonderful, because I always believe in, when people want children, they know what the responsibility is.
Yeah.
So you know that, finding that
Well,
line of for yourself. Hmm.
I got to tell you, I started having kids young, and so I didn't give a whole lot of thought into what it took to actually raise children. But once they started coming, I have 8 children. Once they started coming, the realization of what it takes to be a father really hit and it's set in. So yeah, but that's the best job. It's like I think it's like one of those branches of the military. It's like the best job you'll ever love. For me, being a father, the best job I'll ever love. A lot of responsibility, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, let me ask you this question, and I have to ask it because there's people that's listening and they may just have a child. Would you say that your process of being the best father that you could be to yourself have that shift as years apply to that,
Yeah, of
or
course.
you just okay, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And
When I grew up, I how I parented was how my parents parented me. That's what I knew. And then I went through a program called the Nurturing Fathers program, and I learned that my parents had it wrong, and there were some things that they should have learned about parenting. And while I appreciate all the tools that they gave me, I still had a lot more to learn. So with that, I went through this program. I learned how I should accurately parent my children, and I like to think that I became a better father. What my parents instilled in me, because they gave me a lot, and one of the things is working hard. Being the owner of 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat, is not it's not like it's a full time, all the time job being an entrepreneur. So, I'm on go all the time. And my parents instilled that in me. You got to work hard for what you want.
wow. You know what? And I want to go in depth with that. And there's a couple other questions I want to ask you, but I know I want to go in depth about that nurturing father because I think that right there is something that sharing is caring, and how you
Hmm.
develop that and how you explain that. I want people to really implement that. And on that note, before we do that, we are going to take a brief commercial. And we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network with the handsome and marvelous Marv Neal, Mr. Marv Neal. And we'll be right back, fam. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is. Because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories, and that is why I like film. Because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that it's because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. We are still with the marvelous Mr. Marv Neal. Come on over here, Neal. I know. You know what? I'm used to calling you Neal, Marv. I don't
Yeah.
know, because you go by Neal a lot, right?
Yeah. A lot of people called me Neil back in the day when I was younger.
Yeah, because when
Hmm.
I said, and I think I said that to, I don't know who I said that to, a friend of mine or my brother one day. I was like, oh, no. He was like, who's that? I said, Neal. Oh, I know who he is. Okay. Because
Yeah,
he would say Neal, and then I said Marv, and I was like, you
yeah.
know what? Okay, y'all.
Hmm.
So I call you both, but you know what? Today you're the handsome Mr. Marv Neal on my
Well,
show.
thank you.
How's that?
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. You're welcome, my dear. All right, you know what? Here's the thing about this. I love the fact what you're doing in nurturing. You have this nurturing father program. I want to elaborate a little bit about that. But before I do, I want to ask you a couple more questions because I really want my viewers to understand about how do you come about this? Because my platform is about clinical psychology, but it's also about challenges, what one
Hmm.
goes through in life. You know, so I'm Christian and I was welcome and raised on those norms too. But not everybody is Christian or they believe in God or anything like that. What is your belief mechanism? What is your religion background, if it is one?
So I was raised Baptist. I am a Christian. I do believe in God. I do believe that there is a higher power. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. And so when you have a challenge in your life, and have you ever, matter of fact, let me ask this question. Have you ever had a challenge in your life that was so depth, like you just couldn't deal with it and you had to fall to your belief mechanism to help you through it? Can you share a challenge? Because one thing about I have to explain to people, we're humans. No matter what we do out there, we're human first. So we bleed, we cry, we go through problems. It's just how we deal with it and how do we come out of it. And I think a lot of people need that encouragement, how to move forward because you're not alone. Can you share a challenge in your life that you was kind of like going through that moment?
Absolutely. As I said, I own this radio station, 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat in Boston. And, we have faced several challenges. And, just there have been many times that I could have just thrown the towel in and just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. And just walked away. But, the um, drive that my parents instilled in me and my belief in God has helped to keep me and this radio station going. We started out being um, on the AM dial on the band, and then we went to the FM dial. Now we're on iHeartRadio, and that's endurance and a strong belief in God and prayer and having an incredible team around me. We've had Steve Harvey's show broadcast on our station. Keith Sweat's Sweat Hotel was broadcast on our station. We had Ralph Tresvant, who had his own show here on our station. And now we've also had the incredible DJ Ron G from New York on our station. And now we have a new show coming up with um, Lonnie Love, Yo Yo, and a young lady by the name of Angelique. That show actually starts this weekend, and it's a show for women and about women. And it's just again just knowing that if I, you know, put my belief in faith in God, that God will conquer all. So that right there is a real testimony of us surviving, being an independently owned Black radio station, um, and just not receiving any outside supports from any governmental supports. This is just us as a station bonding together and praying and putting our belief in God to keep us going.
Wow. That is challenging as it is because I can't imagine what it is in a daily task of running a radio station. I mean, what is the downfalls on that? I mean, if somebody doesn't show up, do you still go with the day or on the show, or how did that work? Because
I mean,
I want to know.
it's like anything else. There's always a fail safe. If someone can't make it in, then we go into what's called automation, And, if there's no one to come in and actually cover that particular shift, the station will kick into automatic drive, and the music will still play, commercials will still play, drops will still play. It just, it's like a fine oil wheel, everything will just keep going, and when the people are here, it just makes it that much better, because the personalities that I have here on the station are phenomenal. I mean, just amazing. And just, just the fact that we have people that are from the community here on the station. I would say 80% of the people here on the Urban Heat came to me with zero radio experience, and they got all their radio experience here on our platform. And I say that very proudly, because when you talk about major radio station platforms, there's no way a person from the neighborhood could walk into their building and say, "Hey, I don't have any radio experience, but I love to give a shot at being on air." And we've given that opportunity to any and everybody that has come to our door.
You know what? I love that. So to me, what I'm hearing, and I want the viewers to hear this, you're open to internships too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love that because, one thing when people want to be in radio, it's always great when they do an internship. And I've done that years ago. I think I did it at MIT. And it was an internship, but I didn't have much experience. But I don't know if you remember, MIT had their own radio thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Absolutely.
on that seg. Yeah, I was there years. Telling my age, of course, but years ago, I did something like that, and I thought that was amazing for people who didn't really have
Hmm.
the radio experience, and to welcome internships. And like you said, yeah, you didn't have that much of experience, and you come through my door, I'm gonna give you a shot. See, I love
Absolutely.
that. That's that working
Hmm.
community. Go ahead. Oh my goodness, I just
Yeah.
love it. I just love it. You know what? And I'm glad that you do that. And what's a Baha moment, or am I saying that you who, or I don't know, I get those metaphors wrong, of having your own radio station? Like, what is that moment for you? Like that greatest feeling of all? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Before you even answer that question, because I want that. Woo! I want to give it to me. So before that, we're going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere. We are still with amazing and handsome. Ooh, and handsome. Don't go nowhere. Mob Neal. Don't go nowhere. Because you mentioned and said, I believe in God and I surrendered. And when someone is addicted to something, it's a challenge. It's tough. What was that moment that you said, I can't do it anymore?
Well, in book number 2, I talk about how I've been to prison. My prison number is 589931. I'll have that number for the rest of my life. It's just not a functional number. I talk about how I was delivered from a homosexual lifestyle. I talk about how I had a man that left me for another man. I talk about how I had a man that was HIV but never told me, but I'm sitting here today. I don't have AIDS, HIV. And I have a lot of people always say, your immune system was so strong. No, that was the blood of Jesus that covered me.
Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that. Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. We are still with our amazing guest, Mr. Neal, the handsome Mr. Neal. Come on back here. Don't you go nowhere. All right. As much as I love seeing my reflection in your sunglasses, I'm just going to ask you if you could remove those beautiful sunglasses so we could see who we're actually talking. Oh, there we go. See, I've been telling these
Absolutely.
people how handsome you are, and we can't see
Well,
your
thank you.
eyes. Okay, there we go. All
Yeah.
right. I know you're gonna be modest. It's all right. Be modest. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm from Boston, so you don't have to be that modest with me because I'm gonna just put me on the spot. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying because as I remember, he had me on his show, and now he's in my hot seat. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. See, I'm giving it back at you.
All right.
Yes, I just love it. So before we went on commercial, and I do want to say this too. Um, Before we go into anything, I wanted to say thank you again. Do you know, and not everybody knows this, so I got to put him in a spot again, that he basically hosts my 50th birthday party too. He contribute to that. And I have to say, it was amazing. Everybody
Yeah,
is
it was a
still
great
talking
time.
about that. It was a
Yeah.
great time, and many
Yeah.
people who are watching this segment have already seen you because you was already on the web so many times, the MC and everything like that, so they know exactly who you are. But
Hmm.
he was one of the promoters of my 50th birthday party, and he actually is the one who actually got Miss Chalet on my show. So let me tell y'all people, he can do it. And not just because you can do it, he also helped me and Miss Chalet have a better relationship. See, that's networking, and that was great because we still
Yeah.
communicate. So that's something that you opened the door for, and she's very pleased. And she was a
Beautiful.
very pleasant person, and the
Yeah.
connection
She
that
is.
we networking, yes, she is a blessing. I mean, she gave me shout outs, she shared some things, she did things. This girl did more than beyond, and I see it all the time on Google too. Like she totally did some things that I was like, wow. And not just that, we develop a friendship because of you. You and open that
Nice.
door to new friendships and networking too. And so I'm so grateful, very much so. And the 50th of all things, it's going down in history, man. So I had to let you
Absolutely.
know that you contribute to that, and I felt like I was on cloud nine. So thank you so
Yeah.
much again. So I just want to get that
Great.
in there because you
Absolutely.
are. I'm gonna say, I praise you for that because I couldn't. I praised God and I said, please let this be great. And you was one of those greats that contribute to it to be greatest than
Well,
ever that I
thank you.
can even expect it. So thank you
You know,
again.
I
Yes,
definitely appreciate that, but I can't do anything without my team. And
yes,
my team is amazing, and everybody came through and they pulled their weight. A major shout out to my man Ray Royale for the display of
yes,
vocal ability that he put on, because
yes,
Ray
he
Royale
did.
tore it down. He did his
Yes,
thing.
he did. He did.
Yeah.
And I think I gave him a shout on one of my segments too, and I know his last name. So I'm glad you mentioned it. So
Yeah. Hmm.
that is so wonderful. Yes, because he did. And I put his picture around too. I think me and Miss Chalet and him, we were on there together. And you've probably
Yeah.
seen that as well. He did a
Hmm.
wonderful, and all the artists did
Yeah.
wonderful. And I did give a shout out to every one of them. But I'm glad because you did specifically bring him on your team too. So
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad. And thank you. Yes, Ray, if you hear that, thank you so much. Very much so. You did a wonderful
Yeah.
job.
Thank
So I
you.
have to say that. With that being said, with all the things, see, that just goes in of so many things that you do, and a lot of people just don't know. But let me just ask you this: with running your own radio station, I know it's overwhelming sometime and it's
Hmm.
exhausting sometime. Well, here's the big question because we all don't know sometime how to take care of ourselves. How do you do it?
Hmm.
How do you
So,
take care of your physical, your mental state of mind, and you just ready to go? Like I want right out of the bed type of attitude. Give it
okay.
to me real. How do you do
So with I have two businesses. I have the radio station heat981fm.com. That's the urban heat. Then I have 365 dad, which is 365dad.net. And with 365 dad, we teach men how to be better men and better fathers. That's where the Nurturing Fathers program comes in. In that program, we specifically talk about nurturing yourself. It is so important that we nurture ourselves, because if we're not good, we can't make sure anybody else is good. We use the analogy, right? When you get on a plane and you're flying, they always tell you, if the plane loses pressure and the mask drops out, put the mask on yourself first, then put it on, assist anybody else. Now, in the beginning of the program, we'll say, if you're on the plane and the mask drop, what do you do? Oh, I gotta put the mask on the kid. Got to put the mask on the kid first to protect the kid. Then I'll put mine on. And then we say, well, what if you go to put the mask on the kid and then you pass out? The child's not going to know what to do. So you must take care of yourself first in order to be able to take care of others. So for me, what that looks like is, I get up in the morning, and when I wake up, I always wake myself up earlier than I actually have to get up, because when I wake up, I like to just move around in the bed and kind of get my blood flowing, wiggle my toes, move my arms, and kind of get everything going. Then I'll swing over on the side of the bed, and then I'll start to stretch, and then I'll get out the bed. So sometimes, we'll wake up and then jump right out the bed. Our body hasn't woken up yet. And I've known people to just swing out the bed and go to get out the bed, and then they end up falling and hurting themselves because their body's not fully woke yet. And that tends to happen as you get older. So, I like to make sure that my body is fully awake, and I get up and then I start my regimen of taking care of what I need to do in order to get my day started. I love to walk. I think walking is important. I can't
Oh,
run, right? I mean, at this age, my knees ain't so good no more. So I'll walk. And I can put in, anywhere from 3 to 6 miles on a walk. And then if you're walking with somebody, it makes it that much easier for you to walk, because you can walk and talk and the time just goes by that much faster. And, I'm also looking at what I eat and trying to treat my body right, and making sure that I'm not eating all of the processed foods that I was eating, when I was younger. And, just trying to give myself a little bit more time on the earth, and really looking at how I maneuver through life, because, I have three very important jobs. I got to run a radio station. I got to run my nonprofit 365 Dad. And I also got to continue to be a father.
that's right.
So, yeah.
That is so wonderful that you said that. I'm going to add something to your walking. I love walking myself. So when I come to Boston one time, I'm going to tell you, hey, Marv, let's go walking. Let's go. All
Okay. You
right.
got it. You got it.
Because
Absolutely.
I'm not a runner either, but I'm a
All right.
walker. I can't
All right.
run.
All right.
I can't run, but I love walking. People always say, you walk fast. I'd be like, I could do a fast walk, but I am not a runner. But I'll run you in a walk.
Okay.
But
All right.
walking, you better be with it, because I
I
like to
got
get
you.
it going now.
All right.
You just put the challenge there, so I just had to throw that in there real quick.
Okay. Listen, I'm all for it. And I
You
love I
go
love
for
challenges.
it. Okay. I just had to throw that in there. And you know what?
Yeah.
On that note, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere. We are still with the magnificent and the handsome and the everything, Mr. Neal. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is. Because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories, and that is why I like film, because film. You'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'd be amazed what you can do. Because you mentioned and said, I believe in God and I surrendered. And
Well,
when someone is addicted to something, it's a challenge. It's tough. What was that moment that you said, I can't do it anymore?
Well, in book number two, I talk about how I've been to prison. My prison number is 589931. I'll have that number for the rest of my life. It's just not a functional number. I talk about how I was delivered from a homosexual lifestyle. I talk about how I had a man that left me for another man. I talk about how I had a man that was HIV but never told me, but I'm sitting here today. I don't have AIDS, HIV. And I have a lot of people always say, your immune system was so strong. No, that was the blood of Jesus that covered me.
Welcome back to the Dr. Malika Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. Welcome back. We are still with the magnificent Mr. Neal. Come on over here, Marv. Welcome back, my dear. Welcome back. Before we went on break and we were about to get into some things, and first of all, thank you again for being a guest on my show. But there's a lot of things that you do. And one thing, and like I said at the beginning of the show, I wanted to come back on the Nurturing Dads program that you have, the fathers. And if I said that name wrong, you could just give me the whole phrase. Um, you do amazing things. And I have to ask this question. What made you want to do that? I mean, develop this program, because I know, and I've met a lot of people in my life that I know that they have absent fathers.
Mhm.
And what was your reasoning?
So, some years back, my son was taken from his mom by Department of Children and Families. And when I presented myself to get my son and bring him home, they told me that I had to prove that I was a good father. And, to me, that was a slap in the face. But I wanted to do what I had to do in order to get my son out the system. So I had to enroll in this program, Nurturing Fathers program. It was so impactful and just so amazing that I became a facilitator of the program. I then became a master facilitator of the program. And then I then started my own organization, 365 Dad, because I wanted to continue the good work and teaching men how important they are. A lot of guys don't understand how important their job is as a father, how impactful they are on their children's lives. So what we do is we teach them and how to be better fathers, because a lot of people don't know. People say, all the time, man up, be a good father. How do you know what a good father is if you ain't never seen one? So,
Mm.
we instill those values and teach guys about how important nurturing is in their lives and in their children's lives so that they will become better fathers. It's so important. When we as parents, we don't think about this, but check this out. We
Mhm.
teach our daughters instinctively to be nurturers because when they're children, we buy them doll babies, we buy them the little
Mhm.
domestic stuff, the little kitchen set, and everything that teaches them how to nurture. The doll babies cry, they gotta rock the doll baby. The doll babies now pee, so they change diapers and everything. What do we buy our sons? Army men, cops and
True.
robber outfits, trucks, So while the girls are learning how to nurture, the boys are learning how to be destructive. So we
Yeah.
don't nurture our children the same. So I try to teach men that it's important that we teach these men, that we treat our sons and our daughters along the same lines, and when you hug your daughter, it's okay to hug your son too. You kiss your daughter,
Yeah.
it's okay to kiss your son too, you know?
There you
So
go. Yeah.
one thing that I despise is that when we have sons, we tell our sons, man up. boys don't cry, and we, punch our sons in the chest to make them tough. I did it, so I understand it because that's how I was raised. But
That's
when we do that, we teach our sons to desensitize themselves and to suppress their feelings and their emotions, which
mhm.
could be bad later on down the line, you know.
That's right. And you know
Yeah.
what? And I'm so glad you identified that because there is a issue with a lot of males, especially I have a lot of clients if they had been married or they've been in relationships and they
Hmm.
struggle with emotions.
Right.
They struggle allowing them to release those emotions. So when you say it's okay to cry, and you have this program. So it's not just a program that helping you be a father. It's actually a program that's helping you be a better person of a male.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that correct? Okay, so
Absolutely.
do you have a age limit? How old can we actually put a child of a male in this program?
So with this particular program, we take males of all ages as long as they have children, because the basis of the program is fatherhood. So it
Okay.
doesn't matter how old they are. They could be 16 and, as old as 80. We take all males that want to learn about parenting. We also have a program called Boys to Mentoring for our young men. So we try to
Okay.
cover, when it comes to males, we try to cover, both ends of the spectrum, and we teach the young guys, how to grow up and be good men and good, positive, productive citizens. And then once they have children, we teach them how to be better fathers and instill the importance of them being there for their children.
Wow, that's amazing. And I
Hmm.
really love that because I think a lot of males and they really do need it. I mean,
Yeah.
and like you said, we teach the girls how to be nurturing, but what are we doing for the boys? You
Right.
know, and that's when I say it's not a male and a girl thing and we're just treating the males better. No, this was males be better in relationships with the females. So we're actually helping. You're helping them to be more productive as husbands. You're be more productive as a companion in a relationship. Wherever
Right.
whatever way they chose, but it will still be a productive, healthy, beneficial way to make that relationship work. And
Right.
so you're guiding them and giving them definition of how to behave it's a learned behavior. And that's what you're doing.
Correct.
You're helping them. I love that. I just love it.
Right.
How do we support this? I mean, how do we, because I know, like you said, you're not taking any, people, you don't have sponsorship from like other things out there. You did things a lot by yourself, but how do you get sponsorship? Like people who do want to go ahead and invest in something like this, how do they do this?
Okay. So for 365 Dad, our website is 365dad.net. There is actually a donation tab on the website. Feel free to look us up, 365dad.net, and you can make donations there. Also for the radio station, if you want to support us, again, it's heat981fm.com, 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat on iHeartRadio. So yeah,
Okay. And are you available on Google too, just in case some people are like
yeah,
watching a segment and have to rewind and
yeah,
you're on
absolutely,
so they can find you on Google
absolutely.
too, because
Yeah,
Google is wonderful. So I
yeah,
always tell people if you're looking for them,
hmm,
someone special, Google.
yeah.
So okay, that's great, and I'm going to have you repeat that information as well.
Okay,
Before we go, we're going to take a brief commercial, and we will come right back. And we don't go nowhere, fam. We're going to take a brief commercial. We'll be right back with the magnificent and amazing, and don't tell nobody, handsome Mom Neal. Do not go nowhere. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone, that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Fighting over custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order! I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a bad.
Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice!
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man, Mr. Geek paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. We are still with our amazing guest, Marv Neal. I don't know why I want to say Neal all the time, but I really want people to know both your whole full name, because I know what I could call you. But I want all the other people, because you seem to be described two names and however everybody knows. Because when I said, hey, you know Marv, he was like, who's that? I said, Neal. Oh, yeah. So I got to make sure I say
Hmm.
the whole name. So everybody say, okay, I know who that brother is. I do that to help you out. Because I'm like,
All
I
right.
can't believe it. What, you don't know who I'm talking about, but they did. Anyway, it was such a pleasure to have you on my show. And I'm so glad that you did, agreed. What you do is amazing. You do things that God is loving, because I know that's God talking all the way, and I just love that, because how do we make this world better? We have to do something, and you're doing something than nothing. And sometime, and I say that to myself, for myself as well. When being pro bono and being a psychologist, and you're helping even with this platform, I still feel like it's not enough. But you know what? I realize we're doing something. It's better not doing nothing. So,
Hmm.
and it might feel like that for you. Like, I could do more, but you know what? You're doing enough. You're doing, and every day you take a step to do something. I praise you, because there's somebody who's not doing what you're doing. So at least you're doing something and you're contributing. And here's the thing about that: sharing is caring. And I
Hmm.
love that you're caring and you're sharing, and that doesn't cost much, just to show
Right.
somebody some love about something. Especially you're sharing your testimonies, your experiences, and your challenges. So thank you again for that. Now, let me ask
Absolutely.
you, you're welcome, my dear, if there's something that you want to leave off this platform and let people know something about what you're doing, but to help somebody, if you can give them a quote or something that you live by, and besides what you shared, because everybody in this world, they get up to something, and not every day it's a great day for them, but they got to have
Hmm.
something. Do you have a little quote for yourself that you share?
One of the things that I often say to myself is, can't stop, won't stop. I just got to keep going, no matter what, I got to keep going. And I think about the other side of the mountain, you know, and as I'm pushing, a lot of times, we see dark days. We see days where, things just seem like it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then You just keep plugging away, and then you see that light start to shine through, and then you get that breakthrough. And then when you get that breakthrough, it's like, oh my Lord, this is what I've been fighting for.
There you go.
So yeah.
I love it. You know what? You're
Hmm.
right. And I have to say that because every day is a challenge.
Yeah.
But I tell people, stay in it just one more day. I
Yeah.
promise it'll be a little better. Because even you holding whatever's going on just that day, it'll get a little lighter. If you go to sleep and you wake up, you'll feel a little lighter because you're 2 days in. And I always tell people that just one more day, it'll get better. It'll get better. And we all need that. So thank you for sharing that information.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to ask you to repeat, how do they find you again?
Okay, so for the radio station is 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat. You can find us on iHeartRadio. Our website is heat981fm.com. For 365 Dad, and the work that I hold so dear and near to my heart with this Nurturing Fathers program, it's 365dad.net. We definitely can use your support, donations, etc. Look us up, give us a call, and let's connect.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marv.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you for
I
having
appreciate.
me.
You're welcome, welcome. Thank you again for being a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. And if you're looking for Dr. Meleeka Clary, it's drmeleekaclary.com. You can find my website. You can Google me. And all my social medias is linked up to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka Clary on the website, and you could just Google Dr. Meleeka Clary. And please go see that movie, Three Corners of Deception, available on Prime Video. And thank you for all your support. And if no one has said this to you today, I love you. I want you to be healthy mentally and physically. Enjoy this new year and enjoy every day like it's your last day with peace and joy and happiness, and love yourself so you can love other people too better. Enjoy. God bless. And thank you again for tuning in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. I love you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful week.
You've been watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Tune in next week as Dr. Meleeka will help you shift towards a better life. But this show doesn't stop there. She'll provide helpful tips regarding surviving the entertainment industry and the judicial system with practical information. Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on the Bold Brave TV network.